My name is Zach Taylor. My rank is E3 Lance Corporal in the United States Marine Corps. And the Soldiers Home was an amazing opportunity for me and my family. And they are probably some of the best people I've ever met. Patriotically, I joined because of 9/11. I remember sitting in the classroom and watching that, and other than my family being prior military people, that's what sparked the biggest. I just woke up that morning, went to the chow hall, and there's always, every time I get up when we're in the wires, there's always Iraqis there that were there, waiting to get some work. And they had brought a little boy. He was about 7, 8 years old, and dude, that kid had been bugging me. And I am not kidding. He had been bugging me for a soccer ball for weeks and weeks and weeks. I was like, all right, fine. So I had one mailed out. We were headed out later that night for our rounds through this little city, and I actually had gotten a call over our radio that there was, a big firefight going on. And so we got to the building as, in a hell of a hurry, like we usually do. And we got to the building, and there was something familiar about that building that I knew, but I've never been there before. So we got out of the truck and started going into the breach in the building. I remember hearing a couple of my buddies out down in the room this way, popping shots and saying all clear. I'm moving upstairs, and as soon as I got to the top of that stairway was that little boy and his mom and his little sisters dead on the floor. I made it through all of it and just was able to keep going because everything's a mind state. I do my job that I was trained to do. I knew what I signed up for before I even joined. Having family that was military, I knew what I signed up for. I knew what I did and what I was going over to do. When I came back or got out of the military was confusing. They say that when I came home, I was a completely different person. Instead of a lot of these guys that just sit there and drink every day and just ruin their lives and think everything is everybody else's fault, I had my kids to focus on.
Well, the Soldiers Home was extremely helpful. They helped me figure out told me how to get my credit up. I was infantry, so I like the training, and basically I was patriotic. Hi, my name is Ron Hovis, and I was in the Army infantry from 78 to 84. Getting my own home is, I'm more self-conscious about controlling my money, so I know I can pay my mortgage next week, which is when it's due. I know I can cover the gas and electric and water. I know I can take, so yeah, it has made me more actually, I guess, financially aware.
My serving in the military was a positive experience. It was giving me opportunities that I wouldn't have had. My name is Vaughn Griggs. My rank was PFC, Army. When I got back from the service, I did focus on education because I was still in need of an education. I don't think you could ever really have enough education. The Soldiers Home actually found me. The way that they served me was beyond what I would imagine. It was super easy. There was things that I had to do, but it seemed like they did so much more. They knew a ton more than I know, as far as who to contact, when to contact, all that other stuff. I don't think it would have happened without their help. It is great to be a homeowner. It is really something that I think a lot of people should experience, most people should experience, if they can.
Me, my wife, and my 3 children had been in and out of homelessness a lot. You know, we'd move probably every 6 months. I think it was a week later, we'd already been on the phone and talking to Patrick and all the guys at Soldiers Home. It was actually a very liberating experience. We hadn't had some people willing to come in and help us like the Soldiers Home did. You know, we worked from everything with the realtor to finding places to, you know, working on budget to make sure everything works. Being a homeowner for me is everything I thought it would be. The stress of the, you know, the money and the mortgage and the bills and all that stuff, but at the same time, it's very underwhelming. I mean, I'm not sure how to. I used to feel like I was Atlas holding the world on my shoulders, but now I kind of have like a sigh of relief because my daughter has a yard that she can go play in that's fully fenced. I've got room for my dogs to go play. My middle child can ride his motorcycle around the yard without getting yelled at or worried if he's gonna get hit in the street. You know, and I can do, you know, show my oldest how to use his telescope, look at the stars, or do some of his sciencey stuff. So it's been very relieving, not just for those reasons, but for myself, because now I have my own space away from everybody else. It's my own corner of the world.